just got the brand new Nintendo Switch 2 and I can't wait to try out some next generation titles on this thing. I just need to first figure out, how do I turn this thing on again? How do I remove the controllers? Gosh, it's just too hard. I can't do it on my own. I wish there was like a welcoming tour of some kind.
Fret not, my beloved paying customer. For the low price of 10 American dollars, your wish may come true.
$10 for a fully fledged Nintendo game? Sign me up! Oh, I wonder how they'll teach me. Will it be through interactive mini games that are super fun? Or maybe it's got this charismatic music and theming and...
If you wish to master everything there is to know about Nintendo Switch 2, listen carefully, for what lies ahead is a perilous journey filled with adventure, with excitement, with intrigue, with tests that will challenge even the smartest of third graders. This is an entryway into the future. Welcome to Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour!
Oh, this looks surprisingly bland. Regardless, it is the dawn of a new age, so what better way to begin our journey with this new system than to 100% its paid tech demo disguised as a game, Welcome Tour. The game begins with selecting a character that represents you, and out of the endless queue of generic Google art style looking people, this one has glasses and long hair, so I guess it'll have to do. Welcome Tour is divided into 12 areas, each one representing a core part of the console. Mostly debatable core parts of the console. All of them contain 4 main kinds of activities: minigames, tech demos, quizzes, and the stamp rally. And if we're looking to 100% this thing, to truly master Nintendo Switch 2, I'll have to do all of it. Special emphasis on the quizzes part though. I just couldn't imagine just how much trouble I was getting myself into when I began, but poor old me would find out soon enough.
Get ready for a thrill to test your skill, a quiz on HD Rumble 2!
Alright, quizzes, yeah, I love those! I can take on anything, I'm confident. Come on, hit me! I've read like 5 minutes of material before this. I'm ready.
Question number 1. What part of the console is shown in the
HD
image?
Rumble 2!
How does the weight used for the HD Rumble feature move?
It shakes from side to side!
In the Joy-Con 2 controllers, what are the HD Rumble 2 parts attached to?
Oh, it's the plastic on the back!
A perfect score! Amazing!
While that's going on, we should try out some of the minigames. This first area is home to 2 of them: dodge the spiked balls and find the strongest rumble. This is where Welcome Tour is at its best, when it teaches you about the console's new features in a way that makes you actually care about them. By showing you what the console is capable of in real time, letting you find out what makes this console great by actually playing with it. The highlight for me here was definitely the spiked balls minigame. It's a showpiece for mouse mode. In this game you control a little UFO and you have to dodge the spikes that are falling. The longer you last, the more spikes fall. It's pretty fun and has some replayability to it. But it was at this point in my playthrough that the realization first set in of what I was dealing with. I had spent roughly 28 minutes in this first area before moving on to the next. Out of those 28 minutes, only 10 were spent inside a minigame or tech demo. The other 18 minutes were divided between reading and answering questions about the console and running around looking for the stamps to progress into the next zone. Speaking of, this is how Welcome Tour handles progression. In the past, Nintendo pack-in demo titles, the role this game fulfills despite not being a pack-in title, often gave you a selection of gameplay-centered experiences right out of the gate. The only thing standing between you and playing was a menu or two. Welcome Tour isn't that kind of game. In fact, it's less of a game than I had originally anticipated. Here's the full list of minigames on the screen right now, and don't be deceived, some of these are just stages for the same concept, and here's the list of tech demos. Welcome Tour features a combined total number of 34 of them. None of these are particularly appealing to go back to after you've collected their medals. Now take Wii Sports. Simple, infinitely replayable, tells you about the console, perfect demo game. Nintendo Land, arguably the best use of the Wii U gamepad. Shows off asynchronous gameplay, still replayable, great demo game. Even 1-2 Switch gets people together, shows off the concept of the console pretty well, and it's still a bit replayable, even if forgettable. Okay demo game. Now take a look at the full list of questions and quizzes. Yep. Still going. Yeah. I'm going to put the number of questions on the screen right here. I haven't counted them yet, but honestly, it takes a determined soul to go through all of these in one day. By the end of this experience, I was definitely losing my mind a little. Welcome Tour isn't a game per se, it's right there in the title. It's a tour of the console's features, and I came in with the wrong idea in mind. I knew this wasn't going to be the next Wii Sports, I knew it didn't have replayability as its focus, and yet, I expected to be taught through gameplay about the features of this machine. But in reality, I did get that, yes, but not as the focus. The main thing Welcome Tour offers you is a deep dive into the minutiae of the hardware that is Switch 2. Here we see Nintendo at their most open when it comes to talking about their own hardware. Obscure console accessories are mentioned, silly jokes and references to company history are spread throughout. This feels like a title designed for those of us who care about such facts as... Did you know that in the underside of the Switch 2 dock there are 4 small rubber feet? You may think that they're all the same, but there's this fun little quirk. One of them was designed to slip on purpose. That is to help the dock not fall when a cord happens to get yanked a bit, for example. Neat! The game's filled to the brim with fun facts like this one, and you bet they're making you take a test on each and every one of them. Oh, speaking of, we should check back to see how Past Me is doing.
Question number 2. On the Nintendo Switch 2 console, some raised spots can be found around where the system connector on the dock goes. What are they for?
That's to stop the console from getting stuck.
How many of the 4 feet on the Nintendo Switch 2 dock are deliberately slippery?
Just one.
Bonus question. What should you do if you're enjoying this video?
That's an easy one. Just subscribe and hit the bell.
A perfect score! Amazing!
Sorry, how many more of these do we still have?
By my counts, around 60 or 70 more. I really don't know. The fun, it never ends.
What did I get myself into? Each area's minigames are vaguely themed around the console part that they're located in. Joy-Con minigames focus on mouse mode. Main console minigames provide you with uses for the touchscreen and refresh rate. The dock gives you minigames only playable in 4K. After walking around all of them, you'll get a decent enough idea of what this console's all about. Big caveat though. Notice how I said that the dock gives you minigames only playable in 4K? Well, yeah, Welcome Tour provides you with a look into the console's main features, but not necessarily just the features that come in the box. To get through the camera stage, you'll need to own a USB camera compatible with Switch 2. If you'd wish to experience some of those docked minigames, you'll need a 4K capable display. And saddest of all, if you wish to truly 100% this game, you'll need a controller that features the new back buttons. So a Switch 2 Pro controller or a charging grip. And trust me, I've tried. Despite owning a controller with back buttons, it is only recognized by the system as a Switch 1 Pro controller, and therefore, I'm locked out of this minigame. Sorry for saying I 100%ed it, I technically did 99% of the game because I simply cannot enter this little minigame tech demo. A shame really. Well, sucks to suck. Should have given Nintendo an extra $85 for their troubles. Stop! Okay. Intermission. While watching this great video by fellow content creator Try on Welcome Tour, I was notified of a secret code that exists within the game that when inserted will clear a minigame for you even if you don't own the accessory required to enter it. So I guess they did think of that, huh? But still, the medals given are only silver and I did not get the final stamp for completion, so I guess this still doesn't count as a true 100%. So close, Nintendo. So close. I guess I'll stick to everything else that I really do get to play. And I did get to experience a wide variety of stuff here. From handheld-only experiences like this game where I had to try and hold 10 buttons at the same time on the Switch 2's screen to show off its multi-touch functionalities, or this other game where I got to play the entirety of 1-1 from the original Super Mario Bros. On a single 4K display without scrolling or losing quality. And if you're wondering why we've transported back to the mid-2000s YouTube with this recording, that's because my capture card can only handle up to 1080p 60 footage, meaning my monitor's output get locked and I can't enter the game to record it. Oopsies! I also got to witness firsthand the difference that HDR makes to an image in real time through one of the game's tech demos. It probably doesn't come through too well on camera, but oh well, I assure you there is a difference and it's pretty cool to see. Another area I wanted to point out is the game's graphical style and presentation. I know I jokingly said earlier that this title looks boring, and to be honest, I do think that it often does. The art style choice isn't all negative though, and I found it particularly fascinating when I got to see the insides of the Switch 2. Both the Joy-Con controllers and the console itself are faithfully recreated down to the placement of each little wire on their motherboards. I learned a lot about what makes a console work. Stuff that genuinely was a nice surprise to find out, like how the console speaker is tilted at a weird angle, but the sound gets directed forwards through software, and also it sits inside a box that features outside padding to stop the vibrations from the music from messing up internal components. Or how even the most minor of gaps were designed on purpose and are of utmost importance for keeping the console's integrity together if you ever try to, for example, bend it. The connectors inside were also designed with leeway to be pushed and pulled and not snap. Tons of these little tidbits kept me going, Even if after a while I wasn't having too much fun having to answer countless slow and samey quizzes, I could always count on the game to throw some unexpected fun trivia at me. The major highlight of this playthrough, however, was no doubt the minigames, some of which did get tough at the end. The last one you unlock being the final level of that original Dodge the Spike Balls game, this time controlling 2 UFOs at once while dodging an absurd amount of spike balls, and yeah, this took me a lot longer than I'm willing to admit. Alright, we're reaching the end of this segment now. I think past me should be about done with the questionnaires.
Question number 3. How do the read and write speeds of a microSD express memory card compare with that of a microSD card?
The microSD Express cards are a lot faster.
What aspect of microSD express memory cards do games for the Nintendo Switch 2 console make full use of?
It's their reading and writing speeds, yeah.
The Nintendo Switch 2 console has been designed to benefit microSD express memory cards in what way?
It stops them from heating up.
Congratulations! You have perfected every single quiz in existence, transcending the barriers of knowledge itself. You are now a qualified master on everything Nintendo Switch 2, and thus my purpose on this earth has now concluded. Goodbye, world, and thanks for playing Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour!
Finally, I get to experience the Nintendo Switch 2 by myself, now in glorious 4K, updated to run like never before, a classic that transcends time itself! Finally, a good use for Switch 2. That was Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. After 100%ing it, would I say it was worth it? No, definitely not. Not the way I did it. You should not try to rush 100% completion here. It is a very information-dense and tiring game, but it did give me some fun minigames and taught me a lot about the console's main features. Should have been a pack-in, that goes without saying. But I don't think you're missing out much if you do decide to skip on this. If you are playing it, however, let me know what you thought about it. Will people remember this fondly over time, or is it bound to be forgotten by history? A huge thanks to the channel's first patron for directly supporting the content, and if you do wish to do so as well, the links are in the description. I would greatly appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell if you want to see more from me. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye!